everyone, and welcome to Frenn Diagram. This is the podcast where two friends catch up and find common ground between their favorite media. I'm Remy.
I'm Kat, and today we will be discussing our Frenn favorite, Monkey Man. Warning, spoilers ahead.
Monkey Man.
Monkey Man.
Kat, we did it. We're here. Monkey Man is here. He's with us on this planet.
Yes.
I'm so excited. This week was incredible. There was an earthquake. We both lived through it.
I forgot about the earthquake already.
I know. It's been completely overshadowed by Monkey Man.
I think I just blocked it out because it scared me so bad.
I know.
I was can't remember.
This was your first earthquake ever, I believe, right?
Yeah, when I was a kid, there was a tiny one that hit the Midwest, and I remember people talking about it, but I don't remember very much about it. I think it maybe woke me up for a second, and then I went right back to sleep or something. But yeah, this one was weird, and I thought it was all in my head, and I was like, I'm going crazy. And then I promptly Googled, can New Jersey have earthquakes? And alerts came up, and I was like, makes sense.
Yeah, I think everyone was questioning their reality for a moment. Anyone that works alone, I suppose, which you and I both do. We work alone at home. And you were closer to the epicenter in northern New Jersey, so it was probably a little bit more dramatic for you. And since I'm in Manhattan, it was probably a little less dramatic for me, I would guess. I don't know, though. Yeah. I'm not a seismologist. But I at first thought a huge truck was going by out on the street. Yeah, but then it was too long for the span of a truck passing. And then I was like, oh, I hope a building hasn't collapsed somewhere nearby. Which was my next thought. And I was like, it could have been an earthquake, though. And then everyone in the chat at work from New Jersey to Philly to Connecticut was like, an earthquake just happened. And I was like, well, mystery solved. It was
that answers that. Yeah, it was cool. Weird.
I hope it's not a bad omen for anything.
No. Do you want to tell everyone what you did on Friday?
I know, just moments later, I submitted my manuscript to my developmental editor. Woo! So I was like, well, I hope this earthquake isn't a signal of something bad to come.
No, just something different.
Something different. Just this extreme release of powerful energy.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
So that's awesome and really big and exciting news.
Yeah, I'm definitely nervous to receive feedback, but also pleased to make a real step forward, and we'll see what happens. I vacillate between optimism, light optimism, and a certainty that I will receive horrible news, that it's unsalvageable. So, we'll see what happens.
The range is pretty wide, so...
Yeah. It's wide and negatively skewed, which is true of all of my thoughts.
But we have no negatively skewed thoughts about Monkey Man.
No.
We both adored this movie, I think.
Yes. You saw Monkey Man the day of the earthquake.
Yes, opening night.
I saw it Saturday, the next day, in a movie matinee. My favorite setting, and I fucking loved it. I'm all in on Monkey Man. I had a blast. I would see it again in a heartbeat, and I'm absolutely thrilled.
Yeah. I am excited to watch it again. You know how I am with accents at times, where I have a hard time following things, especially if there's a lot of background noise. So when there were no subtitles, I did find it a little bit harder to parse out what people were saying at moments. But I mean, obviously I still grasped the plot.
Yeah, I didn't have any trouble with the dialogue, but I really liked that the dialogue wasn't heavy.
Yes.
In that there's a lot of visual storytelling, which, I favor quite heavily.
Yeah.
And there are large spans without very much dialogue whatsoever, and I absolutely loved that. I love to be shown, not told. I think it's way stronger, and I think it worked perfectly well in this setting because Monkey Man is so physical and propulsive, and the problems are largely externalized, or you're seeing flashbacks that underscore the internal mental state of Dev Patel's character. I shouldn't even get into this yet. I didn't even tell you. Monkey Man is a 2024 film directed and starring Dev Patel. Dev Patel directed it. He also co-wrote it along with Paul Anguilluela and John Cawley. So he's the star, he's the director, and a co-writer. And this is his directorial debut. And I think it was incredible. I think this is an awesome debut.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I couldn't be more thrilled. You and I have been Dev fans for a long time. Probably since the Newsroom, I guess.
Yeah. You showed me the Newsroom, and I was like, oh, this person. I love him.
Yeah.
And then we watched The Green Knight, and I was like, even better.
We saw the Green Knight in theaters together, and then spoke about it for 2 hours in the parking garage.
It was a fantastic day.
It was great. And we both were like, wow, Dev Patel, incredible. And we've been anticipating Monkey Man for weeks now.
Yeah.
And I'm just so happy that it lived up to my expectations. And I think I do have a slight amendment on something I said about it, I think last week or a week before.
Gotcha.
When I was talking about the production history of Monkey Man. I listened to the Big Pictures coverage of it, which released on Friday, the day Monkey Man released, and they had more larger context on the production journey for Monkey Man. Some of it is still rumor and hearsay, but they actually clarified, and I saw an interview where Dev Patel stated outright that the original producer of the film dropped the film. And the speculation is that it was for nervousness around the political critiques in the film.
I see.
And so that's why Jordan Peele's production company, Monkey Paw, picked it up for distribution. And so I thought that was really interesting and was one of the many, many hurdles that Dev Patel faced when making and hoping to distribute Monkey Man. And so it's still opening weekend as we're recording this, but I really hope people showed up to support it because I thought it was awesome. I really want to convince Will to go with me so that I can see it a second time and so he can see it in the theater because I think he'd absolutely love this. He's way more action oriented in terms of his movie taste than I am. And I think he'd love this movie. Plus, he loves the drums. So, there's lots of drums in the movie as well.
There's lots of drums. There's lots of really good... I love the way that it was edited so that it has like a rhythm to it. All of the fight scenes kind of have a rhythm to them, especially the kitchen fight scene that is like sampled in the trailer. It's so good. It's amazing.
I love the kitchen fight scene. I love a fight scene.
I think that's my favorite one.
Kitchen, it always works every time.
Yeah. And if you're unfamiliar with the basic plot of Monkey Man, it follows an unnamed protagonist played by Dev Patel. In the credits, he's referenced as Kid, and he is basically seeking out the individuals responsible for his mother's death, which is also tied in with a lot of police corruption, government corruption, things like that. And yeah, I mean, I just felt so many feelings while I was in the theater. I was like on the edge of my seat. I was covering my hands with my eyes. I was laughing and like just so present for every single moment of that movie. And that can be hard for me to do with a film that has a lot going on. And like my mouth was hanging open at certain parts. Like I really had a great viewing experience. And I'm so glad that we got to see this on the big screen. I'm really glad that Jordan Peele pushed for that. and was one of the people behind making that possible. And I found a BBC interview during my prep for this episode. I don't know if it's the one that you were referencing, but Dev kind of discusses all of the obstacles to the production and how it was being shot during COVID. And so they weren't able to stay in India and they had to transfer to Indonesia, which was a huge thing. And they lost a bunch of their crew with that transition. And he also broke his foot and his hand during the filming and training leading up to that. So I can't imagine filming that with an injury, especially because both of those injuries happened at the beginning of production. So
yeah, and Dev Patel is very, very, very much the star of the film. He's in every single scene. So I was watching an interview between Dev and Jordan Peele.
Oh, yeah.
And Dev was talking about when he broke his hand and said they had to do the fight choreography a different way because of the broken hand. So I can't imagine learning and planning and executing the fight choreography and then having to reconfigure it and relearn it in order to shoot that. And it still turned out
hand. And incredibly. Yeah. Yeah, I guess he had like a screw in his hand, to provide support. And they said, if you put like more than 2 pounds of force on this hand, the screw is going to bend and it's going to completely destroy the bone that it's supporting.
Damn.
And I was like, oh my God.
That's intense.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think that's absolutely a testament to Dev's dedication and perseverance with the project. There definitely seem to be many setbacks, as there are with a lot of film productions, but I think he experienced a whole gamut of them in his first run. So I'm really happy that they eventually made it over the finish line. Thank you, Jordan Peele, for helping that happen. And I'm so happy it was here. I'm also so happy I got to see it in the theater. Please, if you can, go see this in the theater. It should be seen on a huge screen with a great sound system. It is so propulsive and so kinetic. It is amazing in the theater. I hope you can see it with a big crowd. Yeah. There were so many crowd reactions in my theater, which just make it so much better when you're seeing a story like this, a story of revenge, a story of an underdog, and a story of just incredible violence. There are definitely a lot of moments that were hard to look at. And yeah, it literally does not pull any punches. So get ready for that. But if that's something you're not shy about, then you will be really, really pleased.
Yeah. And nothing was like too much for me. I'm someone that's a little bit more sensitive to gore. And so there were moments where I was like covering my eyes, but it was more just like the tension of the scene was ramping up so much that I was like, something bad's going to happen and I'm scared.
Yeah. It's obviously like never distasteful or anything. Yes. It's certainly like within the realm of the genre. Yeah.
Do you have any like specific moments or scenes that stood out to you in like a non-spoiler kind of way that you just felt really encapsulated aspects of the filmmaking that were really good?
I don't know if I have many that I could discuss in a non-spoiler way. Fair. If you want to give like a spoiler warning to demarcate the rest of the convo, so we can get into details.
We can do that at the end, I think. Yeah.
Okay. I will save mine for that demarcation point then.
Cool. Yeah. I just had a couple of moments that I really liked. And without context, I don't think that these are going to make a lot of sense. But there is a scene where you are kind of in the street during a Diwali celebration. And there's like this really cool camera movement that they do where the camera kind of like pushes in and then up and it creates this like really chaotic and colorful visual. And I just thought that was really cool. And I really liked the cinematography, which was done by Sharon Mir, who did the cinematography for Whiplash. And another scene that I really loved was when they're passing the wallet from like hand to hand.
I love the wallet relay. That was awesome.
Good. And just, I think that the editing of this film was really on point and really engaging the whole time. Mm-hmm. And those are 2 examples of that as well. I don't know who was in charge of the editing, but they did a fantastic job.
Yeah, the editing was great. I can just look that up right now. Well, there's a massive editorial department.
I'm seeing 3 edited by credits on IMDb.
Okay.
Joe Galdo, David Jansko, and Tim Morrell. So yeah, shout out to them. Mm-hmm. It was so engagingly edited.
Agreed.
But yeah, I think that Dev Patel's performance in this was just impeccable. I think he does so much acting with his eyes where he like can make eye contact with another actor and you really feel like a connection between the 2 of them. And I think that because this movie has so little dialogue, Dev does such a good job like acting with his body and his face and his eyes, and it's really, really good.
He's fantastic.
Oh, also, the guy who runs the boxing ring or whatever.
Oh,
the underground fighting guy.
Yeah, the announcer guy.
Yeah, he's from District 9.
He is, yeah.
I was like, why does that guy look so familiar?
That's him.
So, interesting pull. He's really good at being kind of like a weird, sleazy guy, so
sleazy. So sleazy.
Really enjoying that.
Has sleaze on lock, absolutely. Yeah, I think all of mine are too spoilery.
Well, from here on, we might discuss a couple of spoilers, so if you're leaving us now, come back after you've watched Monkey Man.
Yeah, and go see Monkey Man right now.
Yeah, buy your tickets. It's so good. But yeah, if you want to talk about spoilers, we can talk about spoilers.
Let's talk about some spoilers. These aren't really spoilers, but these are specific details that I loved, and I want everyone to be surprised by everything the way I was when I saw the film, so let's get into it. I already said that I like that there was relatively little dialogue for large stretches. That rocks. You know what I really loved? When Dev's character finds that puppy in the alley and
I have the puppy on my list.
it and trains it, and then the puppy was a gun runner. It was great.
Such
Best
a good
use
boy.
of a puppy this year so far.
Yeah, I would like to nominate this for next year's Frennies for animal acting category.
Ingenious.
It was wonderful.
Great dog acting.
Yes.
Adorable puppy. Great use of a dog plot-wise. Incredible. So smart on that by that character's choice. Loved the puppy. Excellent. I wish I knew what happened to the puppy eventually, but I assume she just grew up strong, grew up mean, and she's running those streets now. Yeah. Shout out to that dog. Great job. I loved the bathroom fight scene, which was one of the first fight scenes we saw with the fish tank. And that's where Dev Patel says my favorite line from the movie, which is right when he's about to assassinate the police chief. He says, "Blessings from my mother," which I think is probably one of the most badass pre-assassination lines of all time. We're not pro-assassination here per se, but if you're gonna have an utterance before an assassination, "Blessings from my mother," it fucking rocks.
Yeah, that was one scene where there was just so much tension because there's like a moment there where Dev is no longer in control of the situation. Yeah. And you're like, oh, fuck, what is going on? He definitely botches it. You gotta keep your eye on the prize, Dev. Don't get distracted in the bathroom fight scene. It was great, so though. Good. I love a bathroom fight.
that was a really good one.
Mm-hmm.
I really liked... somewhere in, like, the second act,
Mm-hmm.
Dev just, really backs himself into a corner and has to be rescued and do some
Mm-hmm.
recovery at a temple. And I really liked all of his Hijra friends that
Mm-hmm.
he made there at the temple.
Mm-hmm.
And I really loved his training montage with the drums.
Oh,
and
so good.
The rice.
Mm-hmm. Splitting the bag and all
Splitting
of the rice
the bag
kind of
and the rice
out.
coming out. That rocked. I love that whole training sequence. It really benefited him. He had much better fighting technique afterwards. So his training at the temple definitely paid off. And I really loved that his friends from the temple helped him later.
I know.
That is so cool, because I don't normally associate, like, folks that dwell at a temple rolling up later to absolutely throw the fuck down in the VIP room, like, Crazy 88 battle scene.
Yeah.
And they fucking showed up.
Yeah.
They were awesome. And it reminded me, like, as soon as they showed up and that they showed they were there to fight, like, for real, it reminded me of that meme recently. Have you seen the image? It's just a photo of a register at a Popeyes, the fast food chain, and there's a sign printed out and taped to the register, and it says, "We know how to fight at this location, so think before you speak." And I was just like, they need to print out that sign for the temple, because that would be so perfect, because they know how to fight at that location. And I think every temple that has people that will just roll up, ride or die for Dev Patel should have a nice little sign like that. I'm so glad they showed out for him.
Perfect. Yes, I absolutely loved all of his, like, recovery time at the temple. And the training montage, I could have watched all day. Like, I could have just played that on a loop, and that's my new happy place. I love it.
I know. I love how the person playing the drums taught him combinations with music. It reminded me of our days with Big George. Learning combinations.
Yeah, I was having that thought. And also gave him, like, a rhythm to his fighting and, like, a structure to his fighting that really helped him. I loved that.
Absolutely.
I'm going to tell everyone about it at my boxing gym and be like, have you guys seen Monkey Man? And you need to go.
Yes, absolutely.
I loved when they started chanting Monkey Man.
Yes.
I was like, oh my God, we're on the same page.
Yes.
And I was in my seat
we made it real. Monkey Man.
I wasn't making any noise because I'm polite. But I wanted to be cheering with them.
Oh, absolutely. I was so thrilled. I was like, oh my God, it's real. The Monkey Man chant is real.
I was like, did Remy know about the chant part? And I went back and watched the trailer. I was like, did they ever show this? And no, it's just Convergent Evolution.
I know. I literally went back and watched the trailer to be like, did I invent the Monkey Man chant? And there's a slight whisper of it at the very end of the trailer where they show the title card, but it's just like two whispers of a chant.
You subconsciously heard it.
I subconsciously heard it, and I think just the title Monkey Man is so chantable that I just really took that and ran with it. Yeah. But they really chanted it for real when he returns to the ring, and I was so thrilled. I was living for that.
That last fight was really good too. Oh my God, I mean the last fight in the ring.
Yes.
And I know the last fight. Both were very good. But the last fight in the ring was immediate. Like, one hit knockout. I was like, yes, Dev.
Oh, that one.
I loved that.
Yeah.
And then the one that follows that was amazing as well. But a lot more on the edge of my seat.
Also, what the hell is up with the rules in that boxing gym? What's up with that bat? That was so shitty. I think it was a that with barbed wire, I was like, what the hell? I was like, I won't tolerate this. I'm fine with everything else that happened in this movie, but I won't tolerate that with barbed wire in my boxing match. That's fucked up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I also really loved the choice to have the very final fight scene in the VIP room. It's weird because it's like a fight scene in multiple stages in my mind. So it's like in the VIP room, in the room with the mirrors, in the room with the guru guy.
Oh, is the VIP room different from the room with the mirrors?
I thought it was.
I think you're right. I didn't even think about that.
Because he, like, goes up in the elevator.
Well, yeah, because it's, like, kitchen, elevator,
yeah,
VIP room, mirrors, pool room.
Yeah. But when he's fighting for the first time in that sequence, it's all set to, like, a really slow classical music, and I loved that. I thought that was really creative and something I hadn't seen in an action movie, and I enjoyed every second of it. And it was so in contrast with all of the other fight scenes as well. So
yeah, I liked like 98% of the music choices.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, really good stuff. Speaking of that sequence that I just outlined, my absolute very favorite moment of the film is when he's in the elevator going up to the VIP room. He's just left the kitchen, which is great. Love the kitchen fight. But then he goes into the elevator, and there's a moment in the elevator that it brought forth the most cheering, laughing, and screaming in my theater. And I was just elated. It's when Dev Patel drives a knife into a man's neck with his teeth.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone in my theater went crazy. And I was cackling like an absolute maniac.
That was so good.
Freaking loved it. That was the highlight of the entire film for me, was the, I don't even know how you describe it. The mouth stabbing. It was so good.
Yeah.
I loved it when he used fireworks in the VIP room.
Yeah.
That was sick as hell. And I loved it when the chief deflected the first one, because everyone in my theater went, whoa.
Your theater sounds like so much more fun than mine.
We were having a great time. Yeah, that fucking rocked. Yeah, those were all of my, like, just absolutely on cloud nine moments from the film, I think.
Yeah, I think that's pretty good coverage of all of the things that I really enjoyed too.
Yeah,
I went in with high hopes and I left with exceeds expectations.
Yeah, I definitely was very hopeful. Then I heard the big picture talk about it, and they weren't quite as keen on it. And so my expectations were a little bit tempered then. And so then when I saw it, I was like, holy shit, this is so much better than I expected. So it actually did me a favor. So yeah, I'm way high on Monkey Man. I loved it. Yeah.
I specifically didn't want to give you any information about whether or not I liked it or not. So I was like, no spoilers.
You did a good job. Yeah. You literally only communicated in emojis.
Yeah. I'm not usually like an action movie type of person. And so I was really shocked that I liked it as much as I did, but it was really good.
Yeah. And I liked that it was very knowing and acknowledging about a lot of the modern movie genres that it's kind of pulling from, but extending upon, like John Wick. They even bring up John Wick in the film.
I liked that nod.
Yes, I thought that was great. Very appropriate. And I also saw, when I was watching the credits, in the special thanks category, they did a special thanks to Chad Stahelski, who's the director of the John Wick franchise and a former, like, very, very famous stunt coordinator. Yeah. And he's kind of the godfather of modern action choreography. And I love that they just gave him a special thanks. I thought that was very sweet.
Yeah, in the BBC interview that I was listening to, which I'll link down below as well, they were talking about how they initially were working with the John Wick stunt team while they were in India, but when they had to relocate, they could no longer use that team anymore.
Interesting.
So I wonder if that's also part of that story.
I wonder too. Oh, you know what else I really liked? This is going out of sequence now, but do you remember when he was at the temple and he had like a psychedelic experience where he, there's like a visualization of his psychedelic experience? I really liked the way however they generated the visuals from that sequence were really interesting, and I liked them quite a bit. I didn't specifically look up how they made those visuals, but I quite liked them.
Yeah. I'm having a hard time remembering now because I feel like we get so much like backstory in that scene that now I'm trying to remember exactly what that looked like.
It's like completely abstract. It sort of reminded me of the sequence in the middle of 2001: A Space Odyssey where they have that really special camera. What is that called? It's gonna kill me if I can't remember what that's called. Gosh, how do I even look that up? I think they call it the slit scan effect. But it certainly wasn't that technique, but it sort of reminded me of the same feeling I got where we're taking a break from the story and we're just seeing these visuals that are conveying an emotional, transformative sequence.
Yeah.
And I really liked that.
Yeah. The temple looked really cool too. I would love to go there and befriend the people there.
Yeah, temple was cool. I'm trying to think of what other locations I liked. I loved that stream in the jungle from his flashbacks. I just want to drink that with entire stream. Yeah. Would love to take some sips out of there.
Yeah. Yeah, it was really beautiful. And just clear that a lot of thought and care went into every part of the film, not just the action sequences that we're seeing. The actual like backstory and the quieter moments that we get are very well executed and like satisfying in multiple veins. Like it's not like an action movie where you're like, okay, I liked all of the fight scenes, but I felt like everything else was a little weak or something like that. It really has that balance for me, and I really enjoyed that.
Yeah, I'm really interested to see if Dev directs again, whether it will be in the same genre or maybe something that is just straight up dramatic or maybe something completely different. I'm very curious. I hope he wants to do more directing, because I'd really, really like to see what else he's interested in. Oh, do you want to hear a really small note that I also just really loved to make me excited for seeing it in the theater? They showed the theatrical cut of the Bike Riders trailer in front of Monkey Man for me, and I was like, hell yeah, my boys, I can't wait.
We didn't get that. We got...
Oh, man.
Oh, what did we even see? Nothing I was excited about. We saw
sucks.
The new Mad Max trailer.
Oh, Furiosa?
Yeah.
That's a good trailer.
Yeah, I'm not like a Mad Max person, so I wasn't super excited about it. Oh, we saw the Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes.
Yeah.
Which is the worst movie title in all of history.
Too many prepositions. Yeah. I'm sorry. It's just too many. Oh, do you want to hear a fun fact that I was reminded of after we talked about matte paintings when we were discussing Immaculate? Spoilers for the original Planet of the Apes.
I don't think you can spoil the original Planet of the Apes.
I know, but it's like the best twist of all time, so I don't want to take that away from anyone.
I think I've seen it before. I think I saw it when I was a kid, so I don't have a great memory of it. But
do you know like the big reveal at the very end?
I will probably remember if you tell me.
It's that they are riding that horse on the beach and they find the Statue of Liberty, and it's like the big reveal that Earth is the planet of the apes and they're in future Earth where the apes have taken over. But he only knows that when he sees the Statue of Liberty sticking out of the sand.
Oh.
That Statue of Liberty is a matte painting. That's how they accomplish that. And I was like, oh, that's a perfect example of that. When you would use a matte painting.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Did Scott like Monkey Man?
He did. He did like Monkey Man. What'd you think of Monkey Man?
Loved it.
Yeah. So hell yeah. I was just trying to think of what I would want Dev Patel to direct next, as his next project. I didn't settle on an answer.
He said that he started working on this project, the writing of it, and the concept of it, almost a decade ago.
Oh, for Monkey Man.
Yeah, which is cool. I'm glad we got to see it.
Yeah.
And I'm glad it got made, and I'm glad it didn't go straight to streaming.
Me too.
I really think that not nearly enough people would have watched it if it went straight to streaming.
And it's just not the same.
Yeah.
This is definitely a theater movie.
Yeah, for sure.
Also, if you're afraid of monkeys like me, you don't need to be worried. There's barely any real monkeys in this movie.
Yeah.
So don't fear.
There's a shot of one in nature looking up at the sky.
He's being pretty passive, so it's okay.
He's not being scary at all.
Not at all. Don't worry.
Let us know if you went to go see Monkey Man. And let us know if you loved it as much as we did.
Yeah, let us know when people screamed the most in your theater.
Yeah.
Was it the knife scene? Was it a different one?
Ooh, bathroom scene.
Bathroom scene. The kitchen scene where he slams that man's head down on the burner and smashes the liquor bottle over it. Yes. That was a good one, too.
I just love all of the hitting people with pots and pans.
Pots and pans. The microwave scene. Door.
It's so good.
Thanks for joining us this week on Frenn Diagram. Thank you to Tyler Seek for the creation of our intro and outro music. Did you take any of our recommendations? Have any thoughts on the show? Let us know at frienddiagrampod@gmail.com, and we might read your email on a future episode. If you can, please take a moment to rate and review the show on your podcast app of choice, and we'll see you back here, same place next week. Bye for now.